In this video, I'm going to explain to you very clearly how to set different passwords such as enable password, console password, VTY password, and the password with username and password in a Cisco switch. I'm using an EVNG lab with the real Cisco image, so it is going to be similar to you are working on a real Cisco switch. I have two switches in the lab. This is where we are going to do all the configuration. So let's open up this console and I have another switch here. I'm going to use this switch for an SSH connection to this switch. Let's open up both console. The first password we are going to set here is the enable password. Right now you are in the user mode on both switch. If I type in enable, you are going to go into the privilege mode. So you need to have a password to go into the privilege mode. Otherwise, anyone can go into your switch and do the configuration. So we are going to set the enable password first. To do that, go into conft and type in enable password and put a question mark. You have four options here. If you specify 0, that is an unencrypted password. If you specify number 7, that will be a hidden encrypted password. If you don't type anything, that also will be an unencrypted password. You also can set privilege level from 0 to 15, but I'm not going to do that in this video. That's going to be a topic for another video. So let's set a password without a number. That will be an unencrypted password. So I'm going to say PASSW number 0 RD exclamation mark. Let's exit out and look at the password we set right now. Show run. You see here enable password password. Basically you can see this password, what it is. That is not a good security practice because anyone have access to your running config can see what is your password. So you basically need to encrypt all password in your switch. So let's set another password, that is the username and password. Conft. If you want to SSH from this switch to this switch, you need a username. So we are going to do the username and password for that. Username, you need to type a username, say tech1, password, and same these three kind of password. I'm going to specify as an unencrypted password. So say I put 0 this time and do the same password and show run. So now you see here enable password that we set before, and now you also see username and a password. So I'm going to exit out the configuration. First, I'm going to save this configuration, right? And now I'm going to exit out of the privilege mode. Now let's go back into the privilege mode, and you see it is asking a password. So I'm going to type in my password. Now I am into the privilege mode. So let's do an SSH using the username here, enable, and I'm going to ping this switch. Let's look at the IP address, show IP int brief. This is 172.16.50.35. So we have basic connectivity using VLAN 100, that's the management VLAN. So let's do an SSH into this IP. SSH -L means login using this username. Name is going to be tech1, and we can specify the IP address now. So connection refused by remote host. The reason is this switch is not ready for SSH connection. So let's prepare this switch for SSH. We need to set IP domain name, and I'm going to say evenglab.com. And now you need to enable SSH. For that, you need to create a crypto key generate RSA general key 1024. So now it is ready for SSH. You see SSH 1.99 has been enabled now. So let's try to SSH again. Now you can see it is asking the password for the username that we defined here. So say password. You can see switch 1 refused the SSH connection again. The reason we have not enabled SSH on VTY lines or console lines. So let's do that. Line VTY 0 to 15, there are 16 VTY lines. Transport input. Input SSH. That means only SSH allowed in these VTY lines. And you need to say login local, otherwise it won't allow SSH connection. I'm going to do the same thing on the console line. That means when you try to log into the switch, you need to have the password even to get into the user mode. Console 0. In here, you do not want to enable SSH. This is a console connection. So you need to define a password to enforce security on the console line. That is password. Okay, that is enabled in here. And you need to also do the same thing on the VTY lines also. You need to define the password there too. So now we go in here and try to SSH. Put the password in. You see, now I am into switch 1. Enable. It is going to ask the password again. Now you are on to switch 1 enable mode. So let's go and look at show run, and I want to look at the configuration of these passwords. So we have enabled password, we have 2 usernames, tag 1, tag 2, and I want to go all the way end. So instead of keep tapping the enter key to go to the end, I'm going to say terminal length 0 and show run. That means it will run through your entire configuration without any pass. And you can see line console 0, you have a password and you have login enforced, and you have line VTY 0 to 15, and you have SSH and local login enforce. So you can say login here to enforce local login, and you need to say login local here to enforce SSH login. So I'm going to exit out, and I'm going to show you what the switch returns when you try to enter the user mode. It is asking a password because we enforce local login. And to go into enable mode, again, password. So this is how you set password into your Cisco switch. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification for helpful networking videos. Thank you.